Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Jasmine Tea, where you get your piping hot commentary on your favorite blackity black shows. I'm your host, Jasmine, and tonight we are discussing Bridgerton, episode 6. I'm coming to you live from my living room with Miss Morgan Jackson. Say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone.
She is a super savvy communication specialist, and most importantly, also an Auburn alum.
War Eagles.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to get down to the get down with our what's been brewing moments this week. What have the people been saying about Bridgerton on Beyonce's internet? Moment number 1, the Shade Room made a whole Lady Bussitdown-esque letter. And so the first thing that got me about it was that they had Wendy Williams as Lady Bussitdown. So instead of Lady Bussitdown, Wendy Williams was Lady Bussitdown.
Which makes sense.
Yes, that immediately cracked me up. It makes perfect sense. I feel like Wendy Williams definitely cannot bust it down, but that name was appropriate for this moment in time. Yeah. But Wendy Williams has also been having her moment in the spotlight. Did you get a chance to watch her documentary or her movie that came out last weekend on Lifetime?
I did watch her movie.
Okay.
I thought it was very, very raw and very blunt.
Yeah.
But I liked that. I liked that she gave the people what they wanted because this is her life. Her life is exposing the truth, whether it's good, bad, or very ugly. And most of the time it's very ugly.
Yeah.
So the fact that she let us into her life like that, I mean, you respect. That's all I have to say. And she went through a lot. She went through a lot more than she went through a lot in 20 years. I think she was with Kevin, right? She went through all of that in 20 years, and I couldn't put up with any of that for one weekend.
Yes,
so
that's what...
I'm like, you know what? I mean, say what you want about Wendy, but she hustles, she gets her coins, she gets her way. So
yeah, I definitely don't agree with a lot of things she says, but I always respect her hustle. And I was definitely shocked. By 10 minutes in, I was like, my God, all of this.
I swear.
All of this, girl.
The first scene was, or the first, I guess, 10 minutes. Yeah. I was like, oh, she gonna tell it all tonight.
Yes, she was squeezing all of her lemons. I definitely agree with your comments about Kevin. It's one thing to read everything that was going on, but to kind of see it. It's oh, this is a different type of dude here.
Kevin was a mess.
He was.
He was a mess.
And to also just be so big and domineering. Wendy's a tall lady herself, but she definitely seemed she kind of just fell in.
Yeah.
Cozied up with him.
Love is blind.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Love is blind.
Okay, so the Shade Room also had Chloe Bailey as the unexpected wowzer of the season. Yeah. She's also been catching a lot of spotlight lately because people have been basically telling her she's doing too much and she's too sexy. So she did the Buzzet challenge that totally broke the internet.
I remember.
And then she also did the silhouette challenge, which is also pretty darn popular as well. So What are your thoughts? She's a young 20-year-old girl. She just got her own Instagram account separate from her sister. She's just kind of doing her thing.
My thoughts on this is she's grown and let grown women do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I get it. I guess people still see her as, I assume she started on Disney Channel, right? Her and her sister.
So. They're sweet kids.
They're Disney people. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like that's how the world treats all of these Disney and Nickelodeon stars. Look how people treated Miley Cyrus and how shocked they were when she grew up. I'm like, okay. She's not going to be a 5-year-old on Hannah Montana forever, Right. These people grow up and they're human. They're sexual. They want to be dressing sexy and cute. So I just think people need to let Chloe do what she wants to do. If she wants to do the silhouette challenge, who is she hurting? And by the way, she looks good.
Yeah. So I think that was
I saw her silhouette one and I saw the... What's it called?
The Bridgerton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were both great to me. I'm like, this girl is a dancer, a singer, and an entertainer. So what's the difference if she does this on stage at a concert versus in front of her iPhone camera?
Yeah.
That was my thing. Because I'm like, I've seen her do performances and her sister are dropping it and shaking it. Obviously not to that extreme, but they do it. So I'm like, I don't understand why everyone's like, oh, she's doing too much and she's
Freaking
too
out.
sexual. I'm like, she grown though.
Yeah.
And not only is she grown, but she makes her own money. So you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, I definitely think her body image was like the stir of a lot of this conversation. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you guys had the ability to go out there and look as tight and right as she was when she was doing it, perhaps she would be a little more soft.
Exactly.
Perhaps she wouldn't be talking so much. Now, the last thing I feel like the Shade Room got right is they had Lady Jenner on their little Lady Bussitdown sketch as well, and said that she was tasked with finding a suitor for all of her daughters. I thought that was hilarious because I feel like the Kardashian women do a pretty good job at finding their own suitors. Like, I don't think they need their mom to really hook them up for real.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I'll say that, but definitely when the show first started, which was like what, 2006, 2007.
I have never watched.
I watched it all the way through. I watched it all the way through, and it is a different dynamic. Like you see in the beginning of the show, Chris really was the one like pushing her daughters out there.
Okay.
She really was. She was literally like, "Hey, go do this. You know, there's NBA players over there. Go do this." But now that those Kardashian girls are on their own and big time, they really don't need her.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they got
her mom did the job.
Yeah, the wheel is well oiled.
That's true.
And they can keep rolling on by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, last week was also all about stocks, like total chaos on Wall Street, chaos. With GameStop taking center stage. And so I saw this little clip that had the Bridgerton characters as different types of stocks. And I mean, the internet just works so fast. Like, time something happens, there's already a reference to it. The one that had Cressida on there was the funniest to me because it said she looks harmless, but wants to ruin your future. And I just thought that was hilarious because Cressida's a hater.
Yeah. And I'm still confused on everything that happened last week with the stock market. Like, I know what happened, but I don't know what exactly happened. I'm like, how did all this exactly come into fruition? Like, who broke the stock market?
Yeah, apparently a bunch of millennials on Reddit, just manipulated the system the way corporate people do, just in like a less corporate way, in summation.
Yeah. I just remember I woke up and my phone had 8,000 notifications from my news app. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but it's making older people mad and I think it's funny. So
yeah, that was basically it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even really know what's going on, but it seems like y'all are mad over there. So I'm going to see.
Who are they? The baby boomers?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like the baby boomers were pissed. So I was like, you know what?
They always had those.
I'm not mad at them, so...
All right, now it's time to delve a little deeper into the episode with our piping hot moments. We're going to start the first one off with a surprise engagement from Colin to Marina. He is just so foolishly in love, head over heels. The episode starts off with Colin announcing, it looks like in the park or wherever they're strolling through, that he and Marina are engaged. What do you think about it?
To be honest, I like them together.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I like both of their characters. I think they both know what they want, and I think they both want to get away from all of the BS that's in their town.
Yeah.
So that's why they're kind of teaming up, but I like them. But I will say this. I don't know exactly how the quote goes, but it's like, when you fall fast, it ends fast. You know?
Yeah,
when you fall hard, it's going to end hard. So they better get ready.
Yeah.
But I do like them. I like their characters. I really do.
I do. I really like Marina. And I wish she would have come on the show in a different capacity.
Yeah.
Because, we eventually see her leave because she's got this condition or whatever. But I feel like she would have just been a good burst of energy or just a different kind of edge to the Featherington house. They're kind of prudes. And Marina seems like she'd be the fun person at the party.
Yeah.
So I was rooting for her. But maybe she and Colin can get together next lifetime because this one, it's not really adding up. It's not really adding up for them.
Out of all of the brothers, Colin is my favorite.
He's my favorite too.
Colin is the only
cheap.
Yeah, he's cute. He's fun. He knows what he wants.
Yeah.
So I like him.
Yeah, next season is supposed to be focused on Anthony Bridgerton as he
I didn't
goes out
know
on the
that.
marrying market. Yeah, so Daphne was the star this season. Anthony will be the star next season. So we'll get to see him.
It should have been the queen.
That's
the
star. That would be great.
It should have been the queen.
That would be great. If
she's
he
great.
finally probed over or something, and she can have secret affairs.
She is great. I love her.
Charlotte is pretty great. And so, of course, Collin and Marina are married now. Penelope's still pissed. I mean, should she just let it go for Pete's sake, or is it worth fighting for?
I'm going to say this. Penelope, to me, is the least likable character. She is the least likable for me. She seems so, desperate and petty. And it's like,
she
girl,
does seem desperate.
She needs her own business. Go do your own thing. She's constantly worried about what her friends are doing or what she's worried about what everyone in the town is doing except her. And she blames all of her struggles on everyone else.
Yeah. No.
The whole Colin thing, she's mad at Marina, and it's honey, she has nothing to do with why Colin picked her.
She doesn't.
Nothing to do. So I just think she's the least likable. To me, I'm you need your own business, girl.
She does. That's a good point there. Now we have one comment that says Colin's engagement was trash. I think that's funny, but then it brings up another question, what type of engagement? If you could sit down and dream about it, what type of engagement would you want? So, Colin proposed in front of the family, in front of
outdoors.
Yeah.
It was at a nice event. They were all having, they all had on their nice dresses, their nice outfits.
Does that sound appealing to you, or you want something a little different?
I've always thought about this. When I was younger, I was I want something so big and, something proposing in the middle of some big
a thing,
a big event. Yeah, someone puts it up on a scoreboard or something. But the older I get, the more I'm I just want it to be intimate. That's all. And I don't need a bunch of people with their cameras in my face and I just need him, maybe of course my parents and my brothers, but I prefer more intimate. It can be public, I just want it to be intimate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I would want all the way intimate. Just me and you and whatever friend you hired to capture this moment with the camera in the corner. That sounds nice to me. I just feel if somebody was there, I feel they would go oh, or take a picture of something and just throw off my concentration.
Yeah. When I see people who have those big ones where it's 50 of their closest friends, I'm really, who has that many friends? And why is everyone gathering around screaming say yes, girl, say yes? I'm no, don't pressure her to say yes if she doesn't want to. But
I imagine it has to be hard to hear. Because once you get someone need, everybody's oh,
everyone starts going crazy.
Can you hear him? I want to hear what you're saying. Tell me why I'm so awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me I want to hear it. Okay, so our second piping hot moment is when Queen Charlotte tasks Eloise with finding Lady Whistledown. It is now her official job to get out here and discover this person. And when I thought about it, do we even care anymore?
I know I didn't.
When I think about Shonda's other productions, How to Get Away with Murder or Scandal, the curiosity was piqued more. Who killed this person? Who told this lie? I was more invested. Honestly, I'm kind of watching Simon and Daphne so much, or the other siblings do their thing. I don't really care who Lady Whistledown is.
I feel the season was too focused on Simon and Daphne for us to really go back to Lady Whistledown. But also, too, my experience with these types of shows and this type of plot has always been disappointing. Let's go back to Gossip Girl. When we found out who Gossip Girl was, I was are you kidding me?
Now, see,
are you kidding me?
I didn't even get into Gossip Girl. I tried.
Pretty Little Liars.
Okay.
When we found out who A was, which took 18 years of my life,
there were different A's.
Exactly. Every time I'm this is so disappointing. Yeah. So I felt if I focus on Lady Whistledown too much, I'm going to be disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was smart. That was smart.
I'm just you know what, Lady... And also, too, the way they narrated it, I honestly thought Lady Whistledown was going to be some old lady. Yeah. So I'm I don't care. I really don't care. But if they had had a young voice doing it, I would have been like, I wonder which one this is. I wonder which girl this is.
That's a good point. Lady Bussitdown tea was hot, but the delivery did make me feel like it was probably my grandma being messy on the porch.
Exactly.
Or something.
Isn't the narrator Julie Andrews?
It's Julie Andrews. So, I mean, it felt like a racy little bedtime story some days as opposed to like hot gossip. That's a really good point. And then by the end of season 1, we discovered who Lady Bussitdown is. So I'm curious to see how she'll play a role in season 2. Like, how will she remain relevant?
Exactly.
Really? How will she remain
relevant?
I
was mad they revealed it so early. I'm like, now see, at least with the other shows, like Gossip Girls or Pretty Little Liars, they waited like 18 years before they answered it. But with this one, I was like, okay, how is the plot going to go from here if they already revealed the big secret? And this is why most of the people are watching this show. So I'm going to be interested to see how they keep us in.
Yeah, I think she's just going to become the narrator. Like, clearly Eloise may keep looking for her, but nobody else even on the cast seems to care. Like, they read her letters.
No one does not care.
They keep it and they keep it rolling. Nobody really seems concerned with who Lady Bussitdown is.
And most of the time when they read it, they're mad. They're just like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So I feel like if they do find out who it is, the town is going to riot.
Yeah. Penelope might catch some smoke.
Yeah.
Now, in this moment, we also see Lady Violet tell Eloise that it's time to lower her skirts in preparation for the marriage market. Like, basically, it's time to get you ready to be presented to the suitors. And that just kind of got me to thinking, we saw how terribly unprepared Daphne was for marriage, right?
Yes.
So now Eloise is also getting towards that age and time. Is there anything else maybe her mama should have been telling her, like, as she prepares to start dating?
How about the mama sit down and tell everyone about the birds and the bees?
Yeah.
How about that? Because clearly that did not work out in Daphne's favor for the first month of their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think if you're trying to push your daughters out of the house to be married, you need to tell them what's about to happen. So.
Yeah, I would have liked to hear her tell Eloise about options.
Yeah.
And the fact that she doesn't have to choose somebody. Like, you can go out here and meet 12 different guys. If nobody piques your interest, it's okay. Like, you don't have to try to make something work. Yeah, just to have something. I don't.
There's 80,000 more options for her to choose from. She doesn't have to settle on the 3 guys who live next door to her. So
Howard agrees with you and says that Lady Violet definitely needs to tell her about the birds and the bees. The bee is even like the emoji for Bridgerton. Like, when you see Bridgerton on the internet and stuff, it has the bee. But clearly they're not talking about the birds and bees.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about the birds and the bees, segue on into our third piping hot moment here. It is where now we finally see the newlyweds have sex. So just pause for the cause. This whole episode was about sex.
It literally
was the one that literally set the internet on fire.
It was 50 Shades of Grey.
It was 50 Shades of Grey. Like, it had me sitting here thinking, I was like, man, y'all don't have rug burn, or like when they were outside on like the stones at one scene. It was a lot. They were everywhere.
Yeah. When they were outside in the rain on the stone, I was like, yo, really bold. But then again,
should be really cold.
But then again, I'm thinking, we live in our times where camera phones are everywhere. Yeah. I guess back then you could do whatever you wanted.
It was probably
and no one would know
from a tower far away.
Exactly.
They were pretty much secluded. Yeah, good point. So the most scandalous sex scene is once Daphne finds out that Simon has been lying. He actually can have kids. The handmaid tells her how he can, because he does like ejaculate. So once she finds this out, the next time they get busy, she like pins him down to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. I definitely believe her intention was to be deceitful.
Yeah.
Like, clearly. But also when I was watching it seemed like Simon knew what was happening.
Exactly.
And it seemed like he was down there like, man, this is messed up. This girl tripping. He didn't really seem like afraid and terrified.
He was excited.
Fearing for his life.
As we can see. He was excited.
Yeah. And even afterwards, he just basically asked her, like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? He wasn't even, like, rageful. Not saying he had to be angry to justify it, but still, like, I don't feel like it was that big a deal to him. Like, if we could talk to Simon in that moment, I don't feel like it was that big a deal to him. But Daphne was definitely wrong because of her intent.
Yeah, it was wrong.
Yeah.
Go that far.
So, like, we know the background of, like, him and his daddy issues or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How should he, like, handle this? Like, clearly it's causing issues in his marriage. When is, like, enough? Or, like, how should he have better explained that to Daphne about the kids thing?
He should have just told her. Daphne's character is very sweet. She's very understanding. So I think she would have been like, okay, let's talk about this. I'm not judging you. Let's try to work this out. I think it would have worked out if he had talked to her. If they had had a therapy session, a coming to Jesus moment, things could have worked out better.
I agree. This is the same Daphne just a few episodes ago. He got to touch herself. Like, this is Daphne who finally told her mom, you should have taught me about sex. So Daphne isn't, like, as naive of a little, ignorant little soul floating around as they make her to be, or one might think. So you're right. I do think they could have had a good conversation about it. But Simon didn't seem used to expressing his emotions in any type of way or really to anybody.
But are we shocked?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Most men are not open like that.
No, he seemed like he had truly made up in his mind that he was just going to be angry to the grave.
Yeah.
So it's not shocking at all. Okay, so now that we're talking about people taking doses of things, let's give you a dose of these games and guesses to wrap up our show. So in honor of Lady Bussitdown's scandalous Shade Room debut, we are going to play 1, 2, 3 disagree. I'm going to make some statements and you tell me and the viewers whether you agree or disagree with them.
Okay.
First statement from Lady Bussitdown. Michael B. Jordan is going to be Lori Harvey's longest relationship. 1, 2, 3, agree or disagree? Agree. Okay, now why do you think he's going to be her longest relationship? Is it just like the young black love going together?
I just look at how much now, like, Michael B. Jordan was not that. He wasn't that guy that's always in the cameras and always in the paparazzi and always on social media. He never did any of that. And now all of a sudden he's with Lori and he's posting 24/7.
I have seen more people.
Like, literally, he is on Instagram 24/7 now and it's all about her. If you haven't seen, Lori now is like, I guess an influencer or an ambassador for Naked Wardrobe.
Oh, cool.
And they sell that at Nordstrom. Well, they sell it everywhere. But Michael B. Jordan was like wearing her stuff because it's like loungewear and sweats. And he's got them on. He's taking pictures like
he's supporting her black.
Yeah, like I'm just like, Michael B. Jordan is invested in this woman.
He seems
like,
a little sprung.
He seems very sprung.
Okay.
But I mean, hey, it's young black love. So I just think she brought Michael B. Jordan out of his shell because I feel like he never acted this way. And he's been acting since he was a kid. And he's never acted like this. But all of a sudden, he starts dating Lori, and he's just on cloud 9.
Yeah, he does seem really
They're going to last. Yeah.
Okay, next statement. Pancakes are better than waffles. 1, 2, 3, agree or disagree?
Agree times 80 million. Kajillion.
No, I'm team waffles.
Pancakes. Greatest things ever.
Okay, why? What's the difference between them and waffles?
I just like the fluffiness of them. I think waffles are too sharp and jagged.
That's what I like about it. I like you might get a crispy edge in there.
It's like eating clouds. It's so amazing.
It is. Have you ever been to OHOP on Southside Birmingham, the original House of Pancakes? Treat yourself. Okay, Drake looks better with a beard. 1, 2, 3, agree or disagree? Agree. I'm team beard as well. I feel like
always team beard.
That's one of the greatest features a man can have. Like, it'll just change your life. Like, when a woman goes to the beauty salon, coming out fresh hairdo, beards change the game.
Yeah.
Drake, keep your beard.
Beard is like makeup.
Yeah.
It's literally makeup for men.
There we go.
It's makeup.
Yeah, makeup for men. Okay, next up, Chloe Bailey's Busted Challenge should have been the last Busted Challenge video we saw. 1, 2, 3.
Actually,
agree or disagree? Disagree.
I have one more that I want to see.
Who?
Tiana Taylor.
I would love to see
She might kill it. She would kill it.
Her body is sickening. Okay. Next up, Kev on stage is funnier than Kevin Hart. 1, 2, 3, agree or disagree?
I'm gonna say disagree because I've never watched it.
What?
I've never watched it, but I love Kevin Hart, so I feel like I don't know, but I do love him.
Missing some comedic gold.
I love him
on stage. Just browse around on Instagram or so. You know, if you're ever bored one night before bed, check out Kevin on stage. Our last statement is, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. 1, 2, 3, agree or disagree? Agree.
All day, every day.
Yes, ma'am. Now we will slide on to our guesses. Okay. So now that Daphne has learned clearly so much as her short time as a newlywed with her husband, do you think she's going to take parenting better like next time around? As we were talking about what Lady Violet needs to be telling Eloise, do you think Daphne and Simon's kids are going to know more about the game?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the first month of Daphne's marriage woke her up in every aspect of life. Mm-hmm. So I really do think Daphne's going to be on top of that.
Okay, so let's try baby or no baby aside. Do you think Collin and Marina would make a good couple? Now, you said you like both their characters earlier. But I thought it was funny, like, even once he found out she had a child, he told her, like, if you had just told me, we could have been cool. Yeah. And I was like, dang, girl.
Yeah.
Honesty was the best policy for her unfortunate situation.
I'm rooting for them. I hope they make a surprise.
A surprise comeback?
Yeah, I do. I really like them together.
I mean, we'll see. Looks like Marina got shipped off.
Yeah.
Okay, our last guess is, do you think Lady Jenner is going to find a suitor for all of her daughters? I mean, it's hard out here. Slim pickings.
Aren't all of them taken?
I mean, I don't know. Well, what about the younger ones? I know. What about Kendall? Kylie's always in the blogs. What about Kendall?
Kendall's dating an NBA player.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the oldest one?
Courtney. She's dating Travis Scott right now.
What?
Travis. Well, he's her next door neighbor. They've been neighbors.
Well, that's convenient.
They've been next door neighbors for like 12 years, and they've always been really good friends. So it makes sense.
Travis Scott dated one of her sisters, though. Who is Scott?
No, not Travis Scott. He's the drummer.
Oh, I saw Wendy Williams talk about him.
Travis Barker. I'm sorry. It's Travis Barker.
He's a white guy. Yes, he is cute too.
Travis Barker. And I like him.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's talented. He minds his own business.
Yeah.
I like him.
And that will wrap up this episode of The Jasmine Tea. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you come back and sip this tea with me every Thursday at 7 p.m. Send your questions, comments, and observations to thejasminetpc@gmail.com. Right now, Morgan and I are about to sit for a few more minutes and do a bonus interview that you will get to hear if you check out our podcast, wherever podcasts are found. You'll also get to see it in a few weeks, so make sure you're following us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and share this video. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.